Welcome to a joint session between the UK Erasmus Plus National Agency and the UK National Europass Centre, which is overseen by UK NARIC. To introduce ourselves, my name is Lambros Pardell, working at Ecoris UK on Key Action 105 youth projects, and I also oversee the ECVET contract. And Raya, would you like to introduce yourself as well?
Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Kova and I am the UK National Europass Coordinator, a contract which is housed in UK NARIC, which you also may be familiar with.
Okay. This session is all about two European tools, Europass and ECVET. This session will show how to get the best use out of these tools and show that the impact that they have had as well as the as we come to the end of the current Erasmus Plus cycle. We will provide a summary of what these tools are, showing any recent developments, and cover the impact of these tools and EU tools in a more general sense. Furthermore, we'll consider how ECVET and Europass aid the recognition of learning, whilst also thinking about the future of ECVET and Europass beyond the end of this year in the UK. Do we need to replace them? And if so, how do we do that? So I'll start off with ECVET and then hand over to Raya to cover Europass before we go into the last section on European tools and the future. So in essence, ECVET is a set of tools and templates that can be used in the delivery of mobility programs, supporting learners in getting the most out of their international experience and ensuring a better understanding of learning provisions and qualifications in other countries. The use of learning outcomes creates a clear picture of what a learner will be able to do by the end of a course. ECVET provides templates to facilitate the learning mobility process, namely the learning agreement and the memorandum of understanding. The templates confirm the learning duration and expected learning outcomes, as well as plans for credit transfer and accumulation. So who is ECVET actually for? So on the one hand, ECVET is for learners. Mobility programs can become far more attractive to learners with tangible outcomes that relate to an existing VET program or qualification. So receiving formal recognition for the learning achievements acquired during a mobility abroad means that learners no longer have to repeat or catch up missed elements of learning on return. Following the ECVET principles, quality assured and well-documented learning puts learners in a better position to present acquired skills to employers. On the other hand, ECVET is also for VET institutions and practitioners. So VET providers can develop more productive long-term partnerships with their partners overseas, facilitate increased learner participation and enhance program design. You can also find out more on the ECVET website, which is on the UK Erasmus Plus national website, and you can see the link here below. So considering what ECVET has been useful for and the overall impact of ECVET, I think one of the overarching positives that ECVET has been able to provide is developing a terminology that can be universal when describing mobility. It encourages an active community to be involved in European tools, so providers, employers, institutions and learners to help understand European tools in a better way, and creates better bridges between education and employment. And as mentioned already, the sharing of best practice between organisations is also a key factor. The focus on recognition of learning as well is also an area to highlight, whilst the promotion of lifelong learning and creating effective links to other European tools such as Europass has been another area that has been a very useful impact of ECVET. This also links to this link with other European tools between ECVET and Europass. So the similarities between these two tools are much closer than they would initially appear. For instance, the overarching guiding principles and promoting a quality of mobility are quite important and fundamental to both of these tools, and working to develop better recognition and recording of skills. Europass, in a sense, gives a place to store and chart everything in one place, while ECVET provides the tools to do so from a vet mobility perspective. The principles and terminology as well from an ECVET perspective can be used in Europass documents specifically, such as the Europass mobility document, and that ties into the promoting the understanding of learning outcomes for an individual and from a vet institution perspective, therefore aiding the recognition of learning and then potential links to future opportunities. So now I can pass over to Rai, who will give you a bit more information about Europass.
For those of you who are not familiar with Europass, Europass is European Union initiative established in 2004. A set of 5 paper-based documents were launched in 2005, aiming to make a person's skills and qualifications clearly understood throughout Europe and increase transparency of qualification and mobility of citizens in Europe. There is no doubt that Europass documents were a popular and successful tool. However, with the prevalence of new technology and changing trends in the labour market, there was an imperative need to update the entire Europass framework to maintain its relevance to all end users in a modern context. As such, the service was relaunched on 1st of July 2020 as a set of online tools. The impact of Europass has been huge across Europe. The most well-known Europass document is the standardized Europass CV. Since its launch in 2005 until 1st of July 2020, the Europass CV alone has been generated over 100 million times. Since 1st of July, over 800,000 users have registered and created their Europass profiles. 500,000 visits are made weekly to the Europass portal, and over 10,000 profiles were created by UK citizens since 1st of July. On the other hand, the UK mobility system has recorded over 2,000 issued documents since 1st of January 2020. In September, we analyzed the distribution of Europass profiles by home country and the languages used for Europass profiles. Europass has proved to be a very popular and useful tool in Italy, followed by Portugal. However, English is the preferred language by most users. Over 100,000 profiles were created using English language, followed by Italian, Portuguese, and Romanian. The new Europass platform offers free online tools that support learners, workers, volunteers, and job seekers across Europe. The tools that the platform offers are all-in-one digital profile, an online editor, personalized job suggestions, personalized course suggestions, information and support on learning and working in Europe, as well as interoperability with the platform and Europass digital credential infrastructure. Europass offers end users a free online profile to highlight skills and qualifications as well as experiences, self-assessment of skills to help define career and learning goals, personalized course and job suggestions, search for course and job across Europe, ability to tailor your CVs, full control of personal data, as well as the ability to share profiles with third parties via a unique link. On the other hand, Europass offers guidance practitioners access to web-based tools to help staff or students track their development, access to trustworthy information on skills and qualifications in Europe, including comparing and understanding qualifications frameworks and systems. Information is also provided in the standardized format, which makes it easier to compare applications. And reduction in the amount of time spent on recruiting individuals is another advantage that the platform offers. A key feature of the new Europass is the inclusion of digitally signed credentials. Europass digital credentials lets you receive and share digital degrees, diplomas, and certificates from education and training institutions. This feature can support instant recognition and understanding of all forms of qualifications and eliminates paper-based processes. For those of you who are familiar with digitally signed credentials, a credential is a documented statement containing claims made about a person. A Europass Learning credential describes that the owner has certain skills or had achieved certain learning outcomes through formal, non-formal, or informal learning context. A digital signature, also known as e-seal, guarantees the origin and the integrity of the document. The Europass digital credential infrastructure aims to promote the standardization of the credential market, promote interoperability of credential framework, credential systems, and qualification systems, and ensure that any digital credentials would have a legal validity across the 27 member states. Europass digital credential support instant verification. Recipients can automatically verify information such as the identity of the awarding body or the quality assurance of a qualification. Each digital credential can be shared with third parties and viewed on the digital networks of former and current students as well as the employers looking to hire them. Europass digital credentials are signed with an e-seal, meaning they enjoy a legal presumption of authenticity across the EU, as well as equivalence to paper-based credentials containing the same information. It also decreases the impact of credential fraud. This tool has a number of benefits over paper-based qualifications. They can reduce administration work for students, workers, education and training institutions, as well as businesses, and contribute towards paperless workflow. Digital credentials also unlock the potential of increase in the labor market. While VET providers work within existing compliance frameworks, they will also be able to support the creation and marketing of supplementary non-accredited training at pace to ensure they stay at the cutting edge of learner and employer training needs. Furthermore, this tool also enables vocational education providers to expand their horizons by credentialing complementary packs of knowledge and skills that are in demand outside of existing qualification frameworks. Lastly, digital credentials allow educators to create learning pathways that encompass the full spectrum of hard and soft skills beyond the finish line of traditional certificates or qualifications. Positioning educators as a true partner in an individual's lifelong learning journey, they enable educators to more easily offer continuous education beyond completion. Lastly, I would like to mention a few words about the future of Europass in the UK. It's important to know that Europass is a non-profit initiative which is co-funded by the European Commission and the Department of Education in the UK. Therefore, the future of Europass depends on the outcome of Brexit. If the UK leaves the European Union with any sort of agreement in place, then Europass will continue until the end of the current contract period, which it currently ends on March 2021. If the UK leaves the European Union without a deal, this will mean that there is no UK representation and promotion of Europass. However, it is important to stress that access to the current Europass platform and documents for UK citizens are freely available and will continue to be in the same way. For organizations, the no-deal scenario may also impact the use of Europass mobility system and their access to the Europass platform, but details of this are unfortunately unconfirmed for the time being.
Okay, to give a similar perspective then from an ECVET perspective, the future of ECVET is similarly complicated. Whether it is promoted as a tool in itself is unsure, or whether it is forms a part of other tools that and the key elements are used to inform this, such as, for instance, the Europass mobility document. The European Commission plans for ECVET are unclear at this stage, but there is still important to think about what we can take from ECVET, especially from a UK perspective that has been a real positive, highlighting notably the key principles, the terminology, the frameworks, the promotion of the quality of mobility and the recognition of learning. They are key elements that we need to ensure that we keep promoting and find a way of replicating it to some degree. We will not lose the complete access, as we will still have sort of access to the information that is provided, and will still be important to align to some respect in terms of what is happening in a European context from a UK perspective. But thinking about what we'd be able to do to incorporate the terminology and the structures of ECVET is important. For instance, there are ways to do this, such as linking ECVET to technology such as open badges, and making sure that we incorporate the terminology and structures of ECVET into the recognition of mobility and learning, whether it's formal or informal learning. Charting these outcomes for learners is a key aspect in terms of linking them between education and further opportunities, as well as from an institutional perspective in terms of charting how learners are developing and highlighting key areas that they can work on, and also from a wider labour market perspective, highlighting skills gaps that can be more easily identified. And this also leads on to ensuring learning is recognised in the new way of learning and working in the current context of the global pandemic, such as virtual activities, mobilities, virtual learning, virtual placements, ensuring that tangible outcomes are still presented and recognised from a learner perspective are still very important, and something that we need to make sure that isn't lost. And the ECVET structures can definitely help with that. That just about wraps everything up. For more information, please consult the UK Erasmus Plus National Agency website and the europass.org.uk website, as well as the contact information below that you can see.